Hi, Jonathan. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're doing amazing. Thank you again for reaching out to me. So I make these videos as basically so you know how your website and digital presence is doing overall and how you can improve it, of course. Usually my clients are contractors, so electricians, moving companies, like I said, I'm specializing in concrete or residential concrete contractors. So, and I also do like med spas and doctors as well. So those are kind of like the two main, I guess, main groups that I do digital marketing for because it ranges so much from industry to industry. So from, if you're doing lawyers, it's very specialized. Usually digital marketing companies specialize in just doing having lawyer clients, or some people just have plumbing and electrical. So it just ranges so much from industry to industry, especially now because it is so hard to. There's just so many components now in ranking a website and making sure that you stay on that first page and making sure that you're on top of your game for digital marketing. So, but I will go through, basically all the aspects I go through in what comprises of your digital marketing presence. So this includes your website, includes your Google My Business listing or the Google Maps section, paid advertisement, and obviously social media. So that's basically what you call your digital marketing or digital footprint, you can say. So I'll kind of go over 3 things you can do to improve your overall presence and get more business or traction on your site, and through your Google My Business listing. Okay. So first of all, this is of course your website. I looked at your main homepage, and I was looking at kind of like there's a lot of legalities obviously with this kind of service, right? So again, I'm not an expert on firearms. I've never held a gun, so this is definitely new for me, but the way Google ranks websites and pushes out your content is all the same. So this is your website. It's very well done. It's easy to read. Everything's functioning properly. There's definitely certain things that you should pay attention to in terms of converting people over. So you can get a lot of traffic on your website, but are those people purchasing? Are those people reaching out to you? Are those becoming paid customers? So we always recommend that you have a live chat box on the bottom right or bottom left, usually bottom right, and then your phone number, really, really big in the top right corner. And everything has to be mobile friendly. So majority of people are looking at your website, depending on the industry, but majority speaking, they're most likely looking at it on their mobile. So you need to have everything clickable. So that's great that you have a scheduled appointment, but having a phone number right here and having a live chat box, people will not lose patience in trying to find your contact information. Also, so the way Google ranks websites, it's by trust, credibility, expertise, and authority. So Google has to view you as an authority in your field. They have to know that you're putting out valuable content on a consistent basis, and that means blogging, that means updating content on your website, that means updating photos and getting reviews from clients each month. So everything has to be consistent. So that's the thing that's really hard for business owners, is trying to keep up with the consistency. They might have the time, for a couple of months to do it, but in the next couple of months they won't. So it's kind of like you're dating Google, right? So you have to put in that work every single month. So I can see, well, the first thing we can check is if you saved your images correctly, meaning is it optimized. So this is not optimized 0 Firearms logo. So this is just, again, that makes sense. That's your logo, right? But Google is looking for every single direction or indication of who you want to attract through Google. So if you're not telling Google what you want, then Google doesn't know who to send to your website. So having your website include keywords, so firearms Maryland, firearms transfer Maryland, those kinds of things. Like, what are people Googling to find you? Google's not going to know who to direct to your website. So this isn't helpful. It makes sense, it's logical, but it doesn't help drive traffic to your site. So I'm assuming all of the images are going to be that way. And then the second thing is obviously content. So content needs to be valuable. It needs to include the correct keywords, like I said, and it needs to be better than your competitors, essentially. You have to have more content. You have to have more valuable content. You have to be sending out content more than your competitors. So whether that's one blog a week or one blog a month, you just have to have more than your competitors. And that's kind of what Google is looking for. It's not going to rank a site it doesn't trust. So if you're not looked at as an expert or an authority figure in your industry, they're not going to rank your website. So those are just a few things. Usually you want to have, 1,000 words on a page, but again, not just any type of words. You want valuable content, like what are people Googling, what are questions people want answered, that kind of thing. So that would be like kind of like my first aspect that I would improve on, or recommend that you improve on. So second thing, so I just Googled Maryland firearm transfer. This might be something that people will be typing in to find you. So sometimes Google spits out this in a different order, but usually this is called the organic section, so what websites come up for in Google. But usually the Google Map Pack comes up first. So this is from your Google My Business listing. You have to have a Google My Business listing to be in this section. So if you don't have that, then definitely register for one. It's completely free. Build it out and make sure that it has all the correct information. But how to get into this section is really important. In most industries, again, I don't know about firearms, but in terms of contractors, about 60 to 70% of calls and submit forms, basically leads kind of contacting you, are from this section. So it's really, really important to be in here. So in order to get into this section, you have to have a lot of citations. Citations are just your name, address, and phone number of your business on online directories such as Yelp, Facebook, Yellow Pages, any type of directories that are special to your niche. And your name, address, and phone number has to be consistent and accurate and matching on all directories. If you have an old number, an old address, it's going to confuse Google. So that's number one. So building out your business listing, having a lot of citations. And the second thing, this is newer, right? So Google is really looking at reviews. You should be getting at least one or two or a couple of reviews a month, and staying consistent, like I said. That will help you get into this section. And then third thing is having your website match your Google My Business listing. So if your content is about firearm transfers and firearm purchases, then obviously you have to include those keywords and content in your Google My Business listing. So everything, it has to be matching, essentially. Everything has to be cohesive. Everything has to, Google has thousands of bots basically running the internet, reading pages, reading Google My Business listings, and ranking accordingly. So, Google's getting smarter, so we have to definitely, so that's why it's just harder to rank websites and Google My Business listings these days than it was like 5 years ago. So that would be the Google My Business listing or Google Maps area. Usually I touch on usually people are running paid advertisements, so that's a good place to also drive traffic. But again, I don't know much about firearms, and I'm sure there's a lot of restrictions on running ads for your kind of service. So that's probably why there's no ads. So Google probably restricts advertisements for firearms. So, but I'm sure with certain type of wording, it might be different, like training or self-protection courses or something like that might be a little bit better, or Google might allow that. So again, so normally this section goes underneath the Google Maps section, but it got moved up here for some strange reason. So this is what we call the organic section. So 20 to 30% of your leads will come from your website, and you have to rank on the first page. when you Google something, nobody goes past the first page, right? So you have to be, and preferably the first 5 spots. So a lot of this is licensing and law, right? So technically your number one kind of competitor is this MSAR online law enforcement equipment. So they would technically be your first competitor. So what I'll do is I'll show you your back-end analytics compared to theirs. You'll kind of see a big difference. So this is theirs. So this is our dashboard, their dashboard, but I can see what's going on any website. So the reason why they're ranking number one is this section right here. They have 453 referring domains and 8,610 backlinks. So basically think of a referring domain as a high power, high credible website linking back to their website. So basically it's showing Google, hey, I vote for them, they're credible, they're experts, and this is why they're ranking number one. They have 8,000 backlinks, which is a lot. This doesn't happen overnight. Everything has to happen naturally. So if we did improve your website, then obviously we would add, 30, backlinks the first month. The second month we increase, and we go like naturally over the course of time, we increase to, a couple hundred per month. So, but this took a lot of time for them. They have 5,900 keywords. That's driving 9,600 people to their website a month. So they're doing a lot. They're getting a lot of traffic, so I'm sure they're doing a lot of business. And they're doing very, very well. They have a lot of traction. So these are keywords that they're ranking for. So Maryland small arms, 3,300 people search that a month. They're number one. So they're getting 1,800 people to their website a month just from this word. So this is their position on Google. So that's what their ranking is. And again, this is the keyword. Maryland small arms range, 1,800 people search that a month. They're number one, so they get 995. So they're getting a lot of traffic from these two keywords. They have a shooting range, so that's probably why they get a lot of traffic. So you want anything to do with Maryland because you are local to Maryland. But like you said, you can ship to any area in the country. So buying guns in Maryland, 60 people search that a month, they're number one. Maryland Arms Company, 70 people search that a month, they're number one. So these are all keywords. These are some of these keywords you want to be found for because that will drive more traffic. But we have to rank for them, meaning, you have to include content with these keywords, and then we actually have to start ranking that each month. Basically getting more backlinks and pushing authority to your site. So this is your website, so you can see a clear difference: 4 referring domains, 54 backlinks, 202 keywords, but it's only driving 1 person to your site a month. So you're not being seen. Like, one is just basically, it could be you, or it could be like 1 person that clicked on your site. So that's not helpful for you. And these are your keywords. These are, it looks like, probably names of guns. See, I don't know. But it's not including what people are searching for, generally speaking, like Maryland firearms, right? Maryland firearm purchases. Okay, so Maryland approved firearms list, that's good. So 50 people search that month, but you're in 14th place. So your rankings, you're 39th, 32nd, 34th, 52. So you're on the 6th page, 5th page. So you're not being seen, which is why you're only getting 1 person to your site a month. So yeah, this is kind of like, just like I said, there's so many factors in digital marketing, and there's just so many things that are entailed, right? So, but this is just like a introductory video, and like basically how your website is doing overall versus your number 1 competitor, okay? I hope you learned a lot. Let me know if you have any questions, okay? Have a good day. Bye-bye.